What's up? So it's about a week and a half after Ragbrai ended, and I've had some requests from people wanting to know what I used for gear and how my days went, whatever. So I'm just gonna do a little video here, kind of going over a day in the life on Ragbrai, showing you some of the stuff that I used on my bike, and then explaining my daily routine, I guess. Yeah, so we'll just get into it. I'll show you what I had on the bike. So this is my rear bag that I used. I'm not sure if there's a name brand, but I'll find the name brand for it and share links to everything in the YouTube video. It's strapped on here pretty simple. Every day it was easy to get it on and off the bike because I did have all my camera gear in here, and I didn't want to just leave it sitting out on the bike overnight. Had this cheap tail light and a headlight for when taking off in the morning. I could have some lights on me. This cheap mirror that I installed on the handlebar. That actually helped a lot. I have arthritis in my neck and some neck issues, so I didn't have to turn my head all the way around. Get these Feedbags on here. And then this front bag, handlebar bag, and then the frame bag, and a couple of bottle holders. And then also this kickstand that I picked up. I'll share links for all of these things, like I said. So going over some stuff on the bike. So these pedals, they're kind of like a hybrid pedal. On one side it's just a normal pedal, and the other side is where you clip in. When I picked those up, the guy at the store told me these are like a perfect Ragbrai pedal because you can clip in during the day when you ride, put on your flip-flops at the end of the night, and you can ride the bike without having to clip in. So those actually work pretty awesome. So taking this bag off was really easy. It just has a couple straps in the front, a couple in the back, handle, comes right off the bike. And then just come back out in the morning and strap it back on. Ready to rock and roll. It was pretty awesome. But it's advertised as waterproof, water resistant, whatever. I'll tell you right off, none of these bags are waterproof. You get out there, you got heavy rains coming down, water finds a way in. In here, the big main compartment, right now I just have a couple little things in here, but this is where I had my battery charging setup for the GoPro was in here, along with selfie sticks. I had a little kit for changing the tire, or changing a tube if I needed to. This just has all the little things in there for doing that. This is a little air pump that I got that worked pretty well. I'll share a link for that. And then on the side pockets, in here I kept extra pair of shades for riding when it was dark so they're not tinted. I had some, ew, that looks gross. That really separated. This was calamine lotion that I put in the bottle to just have in case I got into something on the road. And it looks like the heat affected that, so that's pretty disgusting. That'll go right in the trash. Had some extra chamois butter in here. I also had a towel. Someone gave us these when we were riding. They were free handouts. And I was able to get this wet and wrap it around my neck, and it helped a lot, but I was storing it in here when I wasn't using it. And then on the other side, I kept a spare inner tube in here, along with a patch kit. And then if I had anything else throughout the day, somebody handed me or whatever, I would throw it in here. This bag is, well, I still got some stuff left over in here. I didn't clean this out, I guess. Some leftover snacks, some Relight, Cliff Bar, just some extra stuff in here. Cough drops just to keep my mouth from being dry. So all that goes into here. So this was my main snack bag throughout the day. I had stuff on this side and the other side, it's the same. The Feedbags. So this one I always kept a water bottle in it, or my Relight drinks in here. Whatever I'd filter off the frame into this, and then this would be my main drinking one. And this one I got specifically to put my selfie stick with the GoPro so that I could get different shots while riding. I didn't use it that much, but I was happy to have it. And this bag was advertised as waterproof. It is not. It got a puddle inside of it. I think the first time I used it, it stayed dry, and then after that, it just didn't work. The zippers suck. This thing is just a nightmare to get in and out of. I kept cutting these threads off, and they kept getting caught in there anyway. It keeps fraying. So I don't think I would buy this bag again. I thought this was kind of a neat feature, but my phone is actually kind of longer and sticks out so the Velcro doesn't clamp, so that's kind of worthless. It might have worked years ago for smaller phones, but yeah, my phone didn't fit in there. My solar battery pack thing, rechargeable battery pack, I thought would fit in there too, but nope, too big. So this was kind of pointless. Maybe you could put a printed map in there. Shades, I lost my good shades. These were some freebies somebody was handing out, so they ended up being my shades at the end of the week. Pressure gauge, some cords. I had some different things in here throughout the day, like hand wipes. Sunblock was in here. My phone would go in there throughout the day. This is a tool kit that I bought off Amazon. The only thing I used off here for this trip was one of the Allen wrenches to adjust my seat. Otherwise, I didn't really need to use it, which is a good thing. I'm glad I didn't have any mechanical problems. And then while I was riding, setting everything up on the handlebars, I had a Telesin mount that went here for a stationary mount for the GoPro. And then this is my little mileage tracker, GPS thing. It used to sit here by itself. But then when I added the light, I didn't really have any room on the handlebar, so I took double-sided tape and stuck it on here. And somehow it managed to stay on all week. It ended up falling off in the truck on the way home, so I'm glad it worked throughout the week. But in some of the videos, you'll see it sitting there sideways. It was slowly coming off, and somehow it actually made it throughout the whole week, so that's pretty cool. All right, so finishing up on gear. What I use for camera gear is a GoPro 12. It's the first GoPro I've ever owned. I bought the GoPro specifically to try to record this entire trip. I didn't know anything about editing. I started filming everything for my training and learning how to edit during that so that I could be ready for Ragbrai to film the entire experience. And then if you've been watching any of my videos, you know that I have other interests too, classic cars, motorcycles, and all that. So I'll be filming different stuff besides riding a bike or other adventures, camping, canoeing, fishing, whatever. There'll be a whole bunch of stuff to watch on the channel. If any of that interests you, check it all out. I'd appreciate it. Subscribe, like things, comment. I'll respond as soon as I can. And I'll also be doing some stuff with tattooing. I've never really used social media in a way that I should be, I guess, for my career. When I started, I didn't really need to use social media, and I've been tattooing for like 22 years. So I have, lots of customers that come to me through word of mouth, but things are changing. So I got to learn how to, use social media to do that as well, to get more clientele. So if you want a tattoo, maybe a Ragbrai tattoo, hit me up. I'll make it happen. All right. So yeah, GoPro 12 is what I used. And then I had a handlebar mount from Telesin that was really awesome. It's really solid and it worked great. And then I also use a couple selfie sticks. I have one for the GoPro and one for my phone. Filming on my phone. It's a S22 Plus from Samsung. I'll share links for everything. If I have it, if I can find everything, I'll put it all into the comment or the description of the video so you can see what I used. All right, so for the rest of the stuff I'm going to talk about, I did take some notes because I'll probably forget things otherwise. So if you see me looking over here, I don't have a teleprompter. I just have a notebook and my wife's handwriting because I write like a sloppy shithead. So, all right, we're going to go through this stuff. So, my morning ritual. What did I do every day? How did I get ready to go? Wake up. That's very important. Got to get up in the morning. So I would get up and I'd put on my clothing kit. I packed all my clothes in Ziploc bags. I used that method so that I would have my shorts, shirt, pair of socks, and then I had a little bag full of snacks in there. And inside the snack bag, I would have like dried fruit, like a Cliff Bar. There was chamois butter inside there as well, and along with my Relight is what I used for my electrolyte drinks. So I would get my clothing kit on, and then I would grab out the snack bag and get my chamois butter out of there, and then I would head to the restroom. Usually I have to wait in a line. Once I got in the restroom, I would use the restroom, and then I would put my chamois butter on, and I would also take along with me some hand wipes so I could clean my hands off after the fact, get all that chamois butter off of me. Then I would head back to the tent, and then I would eat my fruit snacks usually, which was like dried mango, dried cherries, and raisins. Depending on what I wanted in the morning, I would have 1 or 2 of those packs. And then I would take my supplements, which usually consisted of a multivitamin. I would take a caffeine pill. I'm not a fan of drinking coffee before doing any kind of exercise because it dries my mouth out. Also makes you go to the bathroom a lot. So I prefer to just take a caffeine pill. It works pretty awesome. I would drink my electrolyte drink with creatine, tear down camp, pack everything up, and load it into the truck. Once I got the truck loaded, I would refill all my water bottles for the day and then eat a Cliff Bar and hit the road. All right, so one of the things I want to talk about that happened on Ragbrai has to do with hydration. So leading up to Ragbrai, doing all the training, everybody was telling me it's so hot in the summer in July, make sure you stay hydrated. Everybody was telling me, stay hydrated, drink electrolytes, drink lots of water, make sure you're not overheating. So I, not being an athlete, not knowing how any of this stuff really works, went overboard apparently. I did not know that you could drink too many electrolytes. So I was drinking like 3 electrolyte sticks a day mixed in my water bottle on average. On Century Day when I did the 100 miles, I actually had 4 of them, plus drinking all kinds of water throughout the day to stay hydrated. Make sure I stay hydrated. But by the end of the Century Day, I started to notice my face getting really puffy. By day 4, well, even in the evening when I was setting up my tent on Century Day, when I was bending over, putting the stakes in the ground and stuff and getting things out of my bags, my face felt really heavy. And then by day 4, I could see my eyelids just looking straight out. My eyelids were visible, and I could just feel the weight of my face, and my body felt bloated. And I didn't know what was going on. We were trying to Google things, but I couldn't really get any reception in some areas. So my wife was looking stuff up. We didn't know what was happening. But talking to some other riders about my situation, I started to come to the conclusion that I likely overdosed on electrolyte drinks. Did not know that was a thing. My body wasn't letting go of fluids. So I was going to the bathroom, using the restroom to pee throughout the day, but I guess maybe not enough. I think I was just retaining too much fluid. So going forward after day 4, when I started to get that idea that maybe I overhydrated, I cut back to just doing my electrolyte drink in the morning. And I had one on my bike, but I really wasn't drinking it much. I was mostly focused on just water. And I started to notice an improvement. My face started getting less puffy. I wasn't getting lightheaded when I was bending over anymore. So things definitely improved after I did that. So stay hydrated. Don't overhydrate. Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing at all. Now I do. So my daily routine when I got back to camp every day, I would head for the truck. If my bags were there on the ground, I'd find them, go find a spot to set up a tent, get my whole camping area set up, get the tent up, put my bags away. And depending on when I got back, if it was like early in the day, I didn't shower early because then I figured I'd just be walking around sweating and then I'd want another shower at the end of the day. So I just stayed in my riding clothes and I would go grab something to eat. And then as it got closer to evening, when it cooled off a little bit, then I would go shower and then hang out in camp. After showering, I usually kept some just loose shorts on, a loose t-shirt, and just wore some I would wear slides in the evening so my feet could breathe. Once my camp was all set up, I would go find a charging station so that I could get anything that I needed to charge in there. That was actually nice, the charging trailers that they had with Pork Belly Ventures. They had little doors on them so you could lock your gear in there and not worry about anything disappearing on you. So depending on what I needed, I would go plug those things in and then before bed, I would go back there because I think you had to have your stuff up by 10 o'clock. I usually made it there by 9 to get everything out of there so I didn't have to worry about forgetting it. In camp, they had bands. Well, every night they had bands playing. Some of the nights I did go check them out. Others I might have went and called my wife, bullshitted with some people, just hanging out. And going to bed, I would head into the tent and I would dig out my clothing kit for the next day. I'd have that sitting there ready to go, and then pack away what I was wearing that day, get everything kind of pre-packed and easier to get ready to head out in the morning. I would take a couple Benadryl to help me sleep, and then put in my earplugs and lay down. Sometimes I scroll on the phone a little bit to try to get tired, and then try to get a good night's sleep, but that didn't always happen. Sleeping on a cot, and when it's damp and muggy, it just isn't the best for sleeping. So I didn't get the best sleep on Ragbrai. Last couple nights, I think my body finally got used to it, so I slept better. But during the first part of the week, it was uncomfortable. Oh yeah, I also had this little fan that I would plug in, and I could hang it from the hook in the tent, so it would be able to kind of move some air throughout the night. I'll share a link for that too. It's a nice little fan. It was easy to fold up and store in my baggage. All right, so I'm gonna go over some do's and don'ts. Some things I would do differently, I guess, for do's. Definitely sleep in. Take my time. It's not a race. I have a problem when I get into any kind of goal. I'm 100% all in. Like when I started training for Ragbrai, it just became a thing that I had to do it every day. And I was gonna film every single one of my training videos, like get it all on video. And I didn't have to do all of them. Like my wife was telling me, you don't have to keep doing these. You can take a break, relax. People might not even watch all of them. But in my head, I knew that I said I was gonna film every one of those videos and I was gonna learn how to edit. And that's what I was gonna do, and I did it. I filmed every single one. So if you wanna go watch some of those, you can. You can maybe learn a little bit more about me and my life and Dubuque a little bit. I do talk about some things in there. So if you enjoyed the Ragbrai videos, go check the training videos out. The other thing I would do is definitely take time to talk to people more. You know, I was just getting from town to town and going to get what I needed and just moving on. So I think, especially for the channel, it would have made things more interesting if I would have stopped and talked to people that were out there riding with me and just find out who they were, where they were from, see how their experience on Ragbrai was going. Talk to the local people, you know, find out how their feelings are about all these crazy bicyclists coming through their town. You know, did they like it? Did they not like it? Just trying to get more, I don't know, of a feel for the people on Ragbrai, because the people are really what make it, man. The whole thing was just awesome. Everywhere you went, people were friendly, helping you out. And yeah, that's an experience that I don't think I got across in my videos, because it was all about just going down the road and filming what I saw. So yeah, going forward, I would definitely get some more of that in there. While riding, one thing that I'm very good at paying attention to everything around me. I was a truck driver for 15 years, so you learn to pay attention to what other people are doing so that you can anticipate their movements and get out of their way. There were a lot of people, surprisingly, on Ragbrai that were on their phones. You know, filming something is one thing, but when you're trying to text and ride a bike down the road or trying to make a phone call, pull over. You're not going that fast. I thought it was crazy how many times people would like swerve over in front of you or damn near hit you because they're on their phone. I mean, everybody knows that doing that driving a car is bad, but on a bicycle, I mean, come on. Put the phone down, or just pull over. It doesn't take that long to pull over. Eat from local churches and local vendors. Getting the pie from the little church ladies, that stuff was awesome. That was one of my favorite things to do. And then trying to find like the VFWs, the fire departments, they put on meals. Try to eat those. Those are great. That was one of my favorite experiences along the way. So definitely do that. It's worth it. And then one thing I noticed, and I didn't do it, but in the future I would, is in all of the towns, everywhere you go in and out of town, there's little kids set up with Kool-Aid stands, selling lemonade or water. Some of them would have snacks, bananas, different things. Stop and get something from those kids. In hindsight, I really wish I would have, but usually you get into a town and you go get food from somewhere and you're getting a drink and you're filling up on your free waters, and then you see this kid on the side of the road and you don't need anything because you just filled up. So I think in the future I would keep it in mind to try to go to those kids to help them out, you know, and give them a cool experience because they got this crazy tattooed guy on Ragbrai that came and bought water from them. I think that would be cool to do in the future. If I do it again, I will do it again. All right, so we'll go over a couple of don'ts. And the big don't for me is don't forget your money. Day one. And I said it in, I have a video of my packing my gear for Ragbrai. And in that video, I say that my fanny pack that had my money, my ID, credit card, will be on my person at all times. So I get to Orange City, night before we start, I see my fanny pack sitting on the floor of the tent, and I'm like, I don't want this to get wet or something or get lost or kicked around. So I put it in the side of my duffel bag, and I get up in the morning, I packed up everything, throw the duffel bag in the truck, and I take off and I head down the road with all the cyclists. I get to the first town and I realize I don't have my fanny pack. It's in the truck and I'm not gonna be able to get it till the end of the day. Oh, it was stressful. Like my heart rate just started soaring. I was like, what the hell am I gonna do? There's no way if I rode back to Orange City, they're not gonna unload the truck for my bag. That's not happening. There's hundreds of bags in there. So I was like, shit, I don't know what to do. I called my wife. I was in a panic. And then I let my adrenaline settle down and I headed into town and I found a water station, and someone gave me $20 at the water station when I told them what was going on, which was absolutely incredible. I actually got teared up. I didn't even know how to handle the situation. I just kind of walked away. And throughout the day, a couple people gave me Cliff Bars and I got by, and I was able to survive on that $20. It was unbelievably awesome, the generosity of people. So yeah, don't forget your money. Stupid rookie mistake. And then overhydration, I've already talked about it. Yeah, I didn't not know that was a thing. Make sure you stay hydrated, but don't overhydrate, and just have fun, man. Just it's a great experience. I'm definitely going to do it again. I don't know if I'll do it next year. I have other big things that I want to do in life. I have this whole list of shit that I want to get out there and take on. I'm 52 years old. I'm not getting any younger. I want to do things before I get too arthritic to do it. I do have arthritis problems already in my body, so I want to stay ahead of that shit and start living life. So stay on the channel, subscribe, check things out, comment. I will get back to you as soon as I can. I'm having a lot of fun with this stuff, doing this vlogging and videoing. Like, this is never something I've done in my entire life, but it's pretty fun, and it keeps me motivated to keep doing other things to film to get it out there for you. So thank you very much if you're watching all of this stuff. I really appreciate it. I love the comments. I like seeing the likes on the videos, and watching my subscribers go up is pretty cool. So yeah, thank you very much. Today's a great day to chase your dreams. I'm going to get back to living mine. I'll see you next time. I gotta figure that out. I just said that all weird. I would make sure that I have my stuff charged up too. Oh, I kind of threw that out of order. Yeah, anyway, wearing... I don't know where I'm going here. I'm all over the place.